What is up, guys? Welcome back to the videos. Sorry it's been so long. Today we have quite a bit of an update on the STI. I've done a little bit of work and we're going to do a little bit more work today, see how far we can get. I'll update you guys on where we're at with the build and how close we are to getting it started. It's very exciting, so stick around. Let's go ahead and get into it. Alright guys, so I wanted to wait and make this video until I could get my tripod back from the shop. Unfortunately, I left it there. Filming some other content and everything, and I wanted to wait to make this video until I could get that to have a little bit better shots for you guys, but I figured it's been too long since I got any content out to you guys, so I wanted to go ahead and start making this video ASAP. So this one's going to be a little bit more raw, not as many point of view shots or good angles or anything like that. I'm just going to go down and dirty and kind of show you where we're at, what we're doing, get into some stuff today to hopefully make some progress on getting this thing started. But first, let's update you guys on where we're at with the build, what I've done since you guys saw it last, and I'll let you know what we're doing today. Okay, so I know this whole area looks disgusting, and I agree. To me, it looks disgusting as well. I don't really know how to tuck everything to make it look better. Unfortunately, Subarus are kind of just a rat's nest altogether until you go aftermarket manifolds to clean that stuff up. You know, routing for the AOS is always kind of messy, especially if you're adapting it to a new setup. In my case, I'm adapting this AOS that was on the stock setup to a rotated setup, so everything's a little bit weird. Anyways, since the last time I saw you guys, I routed all of the lines for the AOS that I could. So coolant, all the breathers to the valve covers, breathers to the manifold, the return line for the oil. I routed all that stuff for the AOS that I could. These two lines right here normally go to what would be your turbo inlet, one in the front and then one at the back. But obviously I don't have a turbo inlet anymore. I have a charge pipe that goes to the turbo. So I can't route these two lines. What I'm going to do for this is buy a different top hat, the competition series top hat for the AOS that just vents it to atmosphere, which is totally cool, but I'll have to take this out again and then probably reroute everything. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. It depends on what the top hat comes with. I've got a coolant line down here that needs to be routed to the turbo, and then a return line from the coolant turbo to the block. However, I need to buy a second one of these fittings from a fitting store near me to be able to route the line from the turbo. Anyways, so that's what I've done. I've routed all that stuff. I got all the timing on. I didn't show you guys doing timing because I have videos on my channel doing timing. I have the video doing the AVCS cam gear rebuilds. So I installed all that, got timing all on, went ahead and put the radiator back in, all straightforward stuff. And then as far as the fuel setup, I have my whole fuel setup completely arranged. I thought I was going to have to install the dual fuel pump hangers, get an aftermarket fuel pressure regulator, all that crap, and that was going to be a ton of money. So I decided to kind of ball on a budget. While I'm doing break-in, I'm going to get away with the smallest fuel setup that I can. I know it's not the best option, but to get the car running and for a while it's on break-in, I think it'll be all right. That's part of what we're doing today. But as far as what's up here, we've got the fuel filter, both return and feed. We've got a Cobb fuel pressure regulator that should be more than adequate for our system. And we've got everything routed to the flex fuel sensor and all that. So our fuel up here in the engine bay is good. What we're going to be working on today is I'm going to put the alternator in just to have it in. I wanted to clean it up with some stuff, but we'll worry about that later. And then what I mainly want to work on today is getting the back seat out and getting the old fuel pump hanger out so that we can replace the fuel pump that's in the car with a 400 LPH fuel pump. That fuel pump should be enough to run the injectors that I'm running, which are 1700s, and this Garrett 3076R. I've talked to my tuner, I've talked to a lot of reputable builders in the area, and they all said, as long as I'm not shooting for crazy power, you know, going for kill mode, that fuel system should be adequate. So other than that, I mean, realistically, those are the only three things that I needed to do to basically get the car running. Another thing I didn't tell you about is I installed the external wastegate and dump tube onto the up pipe. Kind of a pain in the butt. I didn't show you guys that because it's all under the car basically and hard to get angles on. So there's that. I'm gonna wait to put the downpipe on, or the downpipe on fully, so that I can have space down here to route my vacuum lines, my coolant lines, and stuff like that. And then once I get all that stuff sorted in that area, then I'll fully install the downpipe. I'll put my O2s or my wideband sensor in that and hopefully be good to go. So the last thing other than that, other than getting the AOS sorted, getting the fuel pump in, the last thing I need to do realistically is drill a hole either somewhere here on my charge pipe or around here in the turbo so that I can run port 3 of my 3-port boost controller to that. Another thing that I was told I could do is run it off of any vacuum source for the manifold. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I'll probably run it off the manifold for now and talk to my tuner about what the absolute best option is. I'd rather not pull the turbo or this charge pipe because it's a pain in the ass to get in there. But we'll figure that out when we get there. Like I said, today what we're mainly working on is getting that fuel pump hanger out so that when the 400 LPH fuel pump gets here, we can go ahead and throw it in and have our fuel system completely done. So sorry for rambling on, but I figured I'd update you guys on the car. So let's go ahead and get into pulling that fuel pump hanger out. Okay, I have no light in here, but this is your fuel pump hanger right here, or underneath this plate. The back seat, fortunately in these 08 to 14 WX and STI is a lot easier than it is in the old style WX. You don't have to pull the rear seat or this back of the seat. You don't have to pull bolts out. None of that stuff. It's just 3 pop clips or like 3 retaining clips. You just pull up on them nice and firmly and the back seat comes out. Then you can get to this plate here and take it off with just a Phillips head screwdriver. Sorry, my hands are shaky. And the view might not be the best, but you know, we're doing what we can with what we have. Just trying to bring some content to you guys, walk you along with what I'm doing, have a little fun, make a little progress on the car. Guess while I'm taking this off, I can update you guys. Like I said in the other clip, those 3 things, those 3 main things are pretty much all I need to get the car running, other than obviously getting the tune. I have to put oil in it, put coolant in it, get the tune, get those 3 things figured out, the AOS, this fuel pump hanger situation, and then routing for the boost controller. But it's coming along, guys. I was really expecting to have to pay, you know, around $1,500 for like fuel management and fuel setup and everything. And I'm glad I didn't, you know, bite the bullet and spend that money, because I asked around, got some people's opinions, some thoughts, stuff like that. And, you know, I'm able to get away with a little bit more mild of a fuel setup. So really happy about that. These retainers are really hard to get off, so I'm going to do this with both hands. I'm going to pull those out, and then we'll take off the 8mm that are around the circumference, and we should be able to pull the pump out easy. So let me get this stuff off, and I'll show you guys once it's out. Okay, pump is out. I already got this piece off just because I hate messing with it. My personal trick is to wedge a screwdriver in between each of the tabs, because they like to clip back on themselves if you don't do all of them at the same time. If you try to do one at a time, they'll just clip back on. So I like to put a screwdriver in between each tab. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So judging based on what all was in this car when I got it, I'm really surprised. I'm really interested to see what fuel pump is in here. It looks like just a regular AEM 340, but let's go ahead and pull it out and we'll see which one they have in here, and we'll get it prepared for the 400 to go in. So just like I thought, these pumps are a pain in the ass to get out of that hanger. Just wedge a screwdriver in between each side, between the prongs that hold these tabs on, or whatever, the tabs to hold the prongs. But like I thought, it is a 340, AEM 340. So my dumbass did pull this ground wire, I assume, off. I have to figure out where that goes. But the pump is out. So we'll wait for the new pump to come in, and we will install it, throw it back in the tank. We'll be good to go. So if anybody wants a 340, hit me up. I got a bunch of them. Alrighty, folks. After much deliberation and trying to mess with that other fuel hanger and fuel pump, I got this guy. I'll show you what we had. Maybe. Oh, here it is. So that's the old hanger that actually came out of the car. The 320 that came out of that. And we were trying to put that 400 in there. And unfortunately, it didn't really want to work well. Down in here, you see those little ribs right above my pinky? Those were stopping it from going in. And instead of trying to, you know, get down in there and grind them out with a Dremel tool or something like that, I emailed AEM and I asked them if that fuel pump was, you know, compatible, and they said no, not without heavy modification. So I found a buddy of mine who gave me this guy, and this has a 450 in it. So I don't know how he made it work, and honestly, I'm not going to take it apart to try and find out. But what we need to do is transfer the fuel sender, this guy, over to this guy so that we have, you know, proper fuel level and everything. So let's get this transferred over, and then we can just throw this guy in. Just needs to be reclipped, and we should just be able to throw it right back in the tank. Stock fuel setup for now with a 450. Should do the trick. He said that he didn't have issues with it with wiring, with voltage or anything. So say your prayers for me that this works and I don't have issues with having to hardwire it, because if I do, then I'd have to drill holes in the top of this thing and figure out how to do a hardwire kit. But I guess we'll see when we get there. So let's transfer this guy over and we'll throw this guy back in. Cool, it is transferred. That was super easy. It's just that little tab right there. You press it back and slide that little assembly up and out of its space, and then you tuck these wires into these little spots here, plug it into the top, clip your little fuel temperature sensor, I assume that's what that is, down here at the bottom, and you're good to go. So this is ready to throw back in the tank. he said this needs to be reclipped, so I'm gonna try and press this down a little bit. I assume there's like a hose or something down in the bottom of this tank at the bottom of the pump that is like the pickup, and it's probably squished in there pretty good. So let me squeeze these tabs back together so that it sits properly, and then we will get this guy back in the tank and buttoned up. Fuel pump is installed, plates back on, we're good to go. So make sure you guys up front, we don't have the battery installed, so I can't prime it. We have a lot of stuff, or a couple things still left to do, so stick around on the channel. We'll be converting that AOS to a competition style, and then we'll be drilling a hole for boost reference in this guy, so stick around. We'll do more stuff, but all my lines are tightened. Fuel pressure sensor is there. Fuel filter is there. The Cobb Flex Fuel Kit is there. Everything is in place for the fuel system, so hopefully that's the last of that we'll have to deal with. I'm really hoping that that pump runs and does good without a hardwire kit, but we'll just have to see when we get there. I'm running 1700cc injectors. They're pretty big, so we'll just see if this can put up with the demand of those without having to hardwire it. But of course, I will keep you guys updated. For now, that's going to do it for this video. I just wanted to come to you guys and really quickly, you know, it's never really quick when you're working on a project car like this, but just really quickly install that fuel filter, just really quickly install that fuel pump, get that sorted, and then we'll be working on this other stuff. So I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you guys are following along with the build. We're getting really close to starting it, so stick around, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.